Hey everyone, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in to Relevant Jukebox, and today we're going to talk about the latest album from Japanese Breakfast, Jubilee. So this is the third full-length album from the singer, songwriter, and author Michelle Zauner. Now, Michelle caught my attention back in 2016 with the release of her debut, Psychopomp, mainly because I was still going through a pretty big shoegaze and dream pop phase at the time, and that album offered a lot of sweet and familiar sounds to me. And her last album was decent, but didn't really blow me away. I mean, truth be told, I wasn't really a huge Japanese Breakfast fan up until this point, but this new album over here I think is just wonderful and easily her best that she's released to date. I think this will catch the ears of like Beach House fans or even some Angel Olsen fans, even Alex G fans, who even has production credits on here on the track Savage Good Boy. And the overall vibe of this project is a lot more melancholy and blissful, and there's a noticeable shift to a brighter tone in sound, with a lot of the instrumentation filled up with pianos, synthesizers, and horn and string arrangements. And what's cool is each track offers their own unique characteristics or directions to them that makes the track list feel like it has a lot of variety, but at the same time feels like a cohesive bunch that does fit together. And even though I've only been listening to this album for roughly a week at this time, the whole thing just has this undescribable familiarity already, and I think that's due to some pretty standout melodies that have been burned into my brain at this point, like the track Be Sweet, which was the first of the lead singles that caught my attention. The groovy bass line and all those watery guitars and the somewhat ominous and gothy tinge synthesizers are just a vibe that I can certainly get behind and want more of. And the first time I heard the chorus hit, I didn't really know what to make of it. I didn't know if I enjoyed it or not, but after repeat passes, it's just kind of washed itself over me and become one of the more catchy spots on the record. And it's almost impossible to hit the skip button once that track ends and goes into the third track, which I love just about everything about it. The vibe overall is extremely summery and uplifting, and the string arrangements really pop on this one. However, In Hell might be my favorite track on the record. Now, as sweet as the instrumental on this one might come off, it's easily the most bittersweet track on the project once you dig into the lyrics. She talks about dealing with living life moving forward after the loss of a lover, and that line that she sings on the chorus, that hell is finding someone to love but I can't have you, is just absolutely devastating almost in every way, especially being paired with that really catchy vocal melody that she puts over it. There's only one track on here that sort of calls back to her more shoegazy days, and that's the cut Sit. The instrumental puts out a lot of atmosphere that's really captivating and enveloping overall. I guess I do like the way that it was placed directly after Posing and Bondage, as that's one of the more ethereal, slower ballads on the project, but I guess I was left more captivated by that instrumental overall, as the progression the track takes is not exactly the most satisfying one. And I also wanted to mention the closing track, Posing in Cars. It does start off in the best way possible with all that acoustic guitar work, and her vocal melodies just pair over it so perfectly, but the track just ends up trying to do a little bit too much in its grand finale with all those like guitar solos that happen and layers of synthesizers that come in. It's a pretty decent jam, but it just lasts way too long, which is just a slight bit disappointing to tie up the album in just kind of like that lengthy sort of way. But overall, I mean, I thought this album was absolutely fantastic. There wasn't a single dud in the track list at all, I thought, minus that, slightly long outro that happens. The melodies are just wonderful. The instrumentation is blissful and full of variety and color. And I think I'll just leave it at that. I could go on all day about this album. I actually really, really enjoyed it and think it's worth your time to listen to. And with that being said, I'm feeling a 9 over here on Jubilee. So for all you collectors out there, there is a really cool limited clear with yellow swirl exclusive pressing that's gone up for sale, but almost sold out like everywhere already. I have links down below to Turntable Lab that seems to have a few more presses in stock, and I think there's a couple other colored variants floating around out there, but yeah, links are down below if you want to grab this. Highly suggest it before it sells out. And if you have listened to Jubilee already, what did you think about it? Let me know in the comments section down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and share, and if you want more content from me, hit that subscribe button. Peace.